Thanks for joining us with yet another OWASP Spotlight series. And this time we have a very amazing project with us, and that is OWASP ZAP, which needs no introduction when it comes to developer community, testers community, and we can understand that it's very much required in the security community. So let's welcome Simon and Rick from ZAP.
Hi, thank you very much for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think this is one of the projects I've been wanting to be part of the Spotlight series for long, but this time I reached out and I am so glad that you agreed to be part of the Spotlight series project. So I want to know from you as a ZAP, like we know that it's a proxy, but it has so much to offer. There are so many APIs and much more things attached to ZAP which people might not know. So can you highlight those some of the things which can actually help people in their day-to-day tasks, especially being a developer, especially being a tester, or even a security tester?
Sure. I mean, ZAP is quite a big and complex project now. It has a lot of features. It started off very much as a manual pen testing tool, but we've got a lot of automation features in there. And I mean, we think that ZAP is probably the world's most frequently used web application scanner so that's in the world, including all the commercial tools as well. If you have a look at the desktop user interface, then it might, depending on your point of view, it might look quite complicated or it might look quite simple. We actually hide quite a lot of functionality. So if you start up ZAP and you think it doesn't do very much, we'll start right-clicking places and you'll find all sorts of menus opening up. Because we try not to overwhelm people who are new to security tools, but then there's a lot more there if you are an experienced security person. We've also got the heads-up display, which is pretty much unique. I don't know of any other security tool or any other tool that has anything like it. So the heads-up display brings ZAP functionality into your browser. So actually overlays your target applications with information from ZAP. And that means you can actually focus on the application rather than having to switch between your browser and the security tool or ZAP. But I think really the automation is one of the places ZAP really shines, and scripting as well. ZAP has an incredibly powerful scripting interface, and because ZAP is, like all OWASP projects, completely free and open source, we can give you access to all of the internal data within ZAP, all the functionality. So the scripting is incredibly powerful, and essentially you can rewrite ZAP on the fly. You don't need to have an IDE, you don't need to know Java. You can actually change things as you go. So it's incredibly powerful.
Wow, I did not know about that you can like edit ZAP on the fly based on your needs.
Yes.
So you're saying that any organization can pick up ZAP and modify the way that they want and use it. It's just that they can attribute to you so that, or the team, ZAP team, and they can start using it.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people ask us, who uses ZAP, and we don't know. Very few people actually tell us who uses ZAP. We want to highlight more companies and individuals who use ZAP. So we're starting a new success stories section on our website. So zaproxy.org is the website which we have for ZAP, and we're going to have a new success stories. So if anyone wants to actually be featured on there, then please get in touch with us, and we'll be delighted to include you. But yeah, we want to hear more about how people use ZAP, but we know a lot of companies do, and we can see the stats, and the little information we get shows us a lot of people are using ZAP, but we don't really know who's using it or how they're using it.
Right. I can totally relate to it. And I know some of my friends in different organizations, they are using ZAP and they're using a lot of APIs, which are part of ZAP. So I am sure I'm going to ask them to reach out to you and submit their success stories.
Please do.
Yeah. And also you were mentioning that there are some APIs which are differentiator, which are exposed for the people to use. Can you just highlight some of them, which just people can start and pick up and start using it?
Sure. I mean, we try and make sure that you can do everything via the APIs that you can do in the desktop. And we've got close, not quite everything. There's a few things we still need to do, but we've definitely focused on the things we think people want to do via automation first. I think one of the main ones you can't do is fuzzing. So fuzzing we've kind of seen as a more of a manual process. So we have this differentiation between active scanning, where Zap does all the attacking and knows what to look for, and fuzzing, where it is the person controlling Zap, the security person or developer, who chooses exactly what they want to attack and how they want to attack it, and then it's up to them to work out whether there's potential vulnerability there or not. So fuzzing, we don't have API support for. We plan to add it, but there's a lot of Zap functionality, and we're getting through it one step at a time. But one of the key things is, if you want to have a play around with the Zap API, you can point your browser at the host and port that Zap is listening on, and you get a very simple UI, which allows you to see the API. It allows you to call it, so you can see what you get back, and you can actually invoke things and make changes. And if you do that, you can do that either with Zap in daemon mode, with no user interface, or you can do it with Zap with the desktop mode, so you can actually see what happens when you play around with the API. So we've got quite a lot of videos about this, so do go to zaproxy.org and have a look at the videos around all sorts of Zap features, including the API.
That you can use Zap through the browser as well. So if you can show us the working, I think that'll be really helpful for us.
But basically, you can launch browsers from Zap, and by default, when you do that, the heads-up display is turned on. So the heads-up display basically brings information from Zap into your browser, and it's quite unique, and it's a lot of fun. So please have a play around with that.
Sure. So Simon, you were also mentioning about Zapcon, where people can submit their stories, their workings, and differentiators that they are able to make using Zap. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay, we've got two separate things. We've got the success stories. So those are the ones we're going to put on the website. So anyone can get us in touch with us anytime if you want to get added to those. But we've got Zapcon coming up, which is on March the 9th. And that's the very first conference dedicated to Zap. It's just about Zap. And it's free to attend, so just sign up. There are links on zaproxy.org. Hang on, I will share my screen. So then we can, so this is zaproxy.org, and you'll see we've got this header banner about Zapcon. So if you select that, then you'll be taken to zapcon.io, and you'll be able to register. And I think you can't, we've accepted all of the talks now, so you can't submit a talk, but you can sign up to join.
Oh, that's really great. I think I'm going to ask some of the people to join. And also when we will be releasing it, when we will be having discussions around Zapcon, I will ask all the people to join. I'm sure it'll be really, really helpful.
Thank you.
Now, I'm sure there's always less hands. So how can people join Zap project, or how they can contribute to Zap?
Rick, do you want to chime in on this one?
Sure. We can always use help as an open source project, and you can just jump in and tackle anything, really. If you're using Zap and you encounter false positives, please report them to us so we can fix things. If there are things you see that aren't quite functioning properly in Zap, then let us know about that, or jump in with a fix. There's development information on zaproxy.org, and it's easy to get your environment set up. And all changes matter. We've got tickets that are simple things like fixing title caps in various places, and projects that are more applicable for Google Summer of Code. So big and small, we'll take whatever we can get.
Definitely, and I think it's worth stressing that Zap is very much a community project. We want people to get involved. And actually, let me share my screen again. Mm-hmm. So if we have a look, so I'll go back to zaproxy.org. We've got a community section here, so you can get in touch via the user group, developer group, HUD group, IRC, we've got evangelists, and if I go down here, we've actually got a Student Hall of Fame. So we've had a lot of students contribute to Zap over the years, either through official programs like Google Summer of Code, Google Season of Docs, Mozilla Winter of Security, or they've actually got in touch with us directly. So we're very happy to try and help students out if they want to work on Zap as part of their courses as well. So as you can see, we've had a whole load of students get involved. So if any students want to get involved and they produce anything which anything gets released, then they will get on the Student Hall of Fame.
Wow, that's incredible. I think this is going to really help. And especially if student has a project which they need to submit it at the college, this is really, really helpful.
Exactly. We've had a lot of students working on Zap, and we really know how much benefit they can bring to us. Some of the key Zap features have actually been implemented by students. So, you know, we're always very keen to hear on students who want to work on Zap as part of their college or university courses.
Sure. So students who are listening to the session, and even the people who are listening to the session, please go ahead, check out zap.org and the GitHub page so that you can contribute, be part of the user group, write blogs, do any additions, solve the tickets. I think that's going to help you in a longer run, and contributing or giving back to the open source society or community. Great. Thank you so much, Simon and Rick, for joining me today. It was really, really wonderful. And I am sure people are going to join you and all of us at the Zapcon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.